Bem-vindo ao Deep Dumps. No Deep Dumps, nossa missão é ajudá-lo a passar nos exames de certificação com confiança. Acesse os exames de prática mais recentes, PDFs e testes online, sempre atualizados conforme os padrões reais. Com nosso material pronto para o exame, você terá os recursos certos sempre à mão. Milhares de alunos confiam no Deep Dumps, e muitos conquistam a aprovação já na primeira tentativa. Oferecemos suporte 24 de julho por e-mail ou chat ao vivo. E nossos especialistas estão prontos para esclarecer dúvidas e orientá-lo passo a passo. Baixe as perguntas e respostas em PDF. Pratique com questões de qualidade e explicações claras. E avance rumo ao sucesso garantido.
Question 1. Over the weekend, a company's transaction database was moved to an upgraded server. All validations performed after the migration indicated that the database was functioning as expected. However, on Monday morning, multiple users reported that the corporate reporting application was not working. Which of the following are the most likely causes? Choose 2. Option A. The access permissions for the service account used by the reporting application were not changed. Option B. The new database server has its own reporting system, so the old one is not needed. Option C. The reporting jobs that could not process during the database migration have locked the application. Option D. The reporting application's mapping to the database location was not updated. Option E. The database server is not permitted to fulfill requests from a reporting application. Option F. The reporting application cannot keep up with the new, faster response from the database. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. The access permissions for the service account used by the reporting application were not changed. Option D. The reporting application's mapping to the database location was not updated. Question 2. A DBA is reviewing the following logs to determine the current data backup plan for a primary data server. Which of the following best describes this backup plan? Option A. Monthly full, daily differential. Option B. Daily differential. Option C. Daily full. Option D. Weekly full, daily incremental. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. Weekly full, daily incremental. Question 3. A database administrator needs to ensure that a newly installed corporate business intelligence application can access the company's transactional data. Which of the following tasks should the administrator perform first? Option A. Create a new service account exclusively for the business intelligence application. Option B. Build a separate data warehouse customized to the business intelligence applications specifications. Option C. Set up a nightly FTP data transfer from the database server to the business intelligence application server. Option D. Send the business intelligence administrator the approved TNS names file to configure the data mapping. Option E. Open a new port on the database server exclusively for the business intelligence application. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Create a new service account exclusively for the business intelligence application. Question 4. A database administrator is conducting a stress test and providing feedback to a team that is developing an application that uses the entity framework. Which of the following explains the approach the administrator should use when conducting the stress test? Option A. Capture business logic. Check the performance of codes and report findings. Option B. Check the clustered and non-clustered indexes. And report findings. Option C. Review application tables and columns. And report findings. Option D. Write queries directly into the database and report findings. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Capture business logic. Check the performance of codes. And report findings. Question 5. Which of the following is the correct order of the steps in the database deployment process? Option A. 1. Connect 2. Install 3. Configure 4. Confirm prerequisites 5. Validate 6. Test 7. Release. Option B. 1. Configure 2. Install 3. Connect 4. Test 5. Confirm prerequisites 6. Validate 7. Release. Option C. 1. Confirm prerequisites 2. Install 3. Configure 4. Connect 5. Test 6. Validate 7. Release. Option D. 1. Install 2. Configure 3. Confirm prerequisites 4. Connect 5. Test 6. Validate 7. Release. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C. 1. Confirm prerequisites 2. Install 3. Configure 4. Connect 5. Test 6. Validate 7. Release. Question 6. A database administrator manages a database server that is running low on disk space. A lot of backup files are stored on the server's disks. Which of the following is the best action for the administrator to take? Option A. Move all the backup files to external disks. Option B. Delete all the backup files containing data that is rated as classified. Option C. Delete all the backup files that are not required by the backup retention policy. Option D. Delete all the backup files except for the most recent one. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C. Delete all the backup files that are not required by the backup retention policy. Question 7. A business analyst is using a client table and an invoice table to create a database view that shows clients who have not made purchases yet. Which of the following joins is most appropriate for the analyst to use to create this database? View. Option A. Inner join on client. Key equals invoice. Key. Option B. Right join on client. Key equals invoice. Key whereby client. Key is null. Option C. Left join on client. Key equals invoice. Key. Option D. Left join on client. Key equals invoice. Key whereby invoice. Key is null. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. Left join on client. Key equals invoice. Key whereby invoice. Key is null. Question 8. A database administrator needs to provide access to data from two different tables to multiple group users in order to facilitate ongoing reporting. However, some columns in each table are restricted, and users should not be able to see the values in these columns. Which of the following is the best action for the administrator to take? Option A. Create a stored procedure. Option B. Create a view. Option C. Create a CSV export. Option D. Create a trigger. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Create a view. Question 9. Which of the following describes a scenario in which a database administrator would use a relational database rather than a non-relational database? Option A. An organization wants to maintain consistency among the data in the database. Option B. An organization requires data encryption. Option C. An organization wants to process complex data sets. Option D. An organization wants to store a large number of videos, photos, and documents. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. An organization wants to maintain consistency among the data in the database. Question 10. A database administrator set up a connection for a SQL Server instance for a new user. But the administrator is unable to connect using the user's workstation. Which of the following is the most likely cause of the issue? Option A. The SQL Server codes are performing badly. Option B. The SQL Server has not been tested properly. Option C. The SQL Server ports to the main machine are closed. Option D. The SQL Server has many concurrent users. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. The SQL Server ports to the main machine are closed. Question 11. A group of developers needs access to a database in a development environment. But the database contains sensitive data. Which of the following should the database administrator do before giving the developers access to the environment? Option A. Audit access to tables with sensitive data. Option B. Remove sensitive data from tables. Option C. Mask the sensitive data. Option D. Encrypt connections to the development environment. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. Mask the sensitive data. Question 12. A database administrator needs to aggregate data from multiple tables in a way that does not impact the original tables, and then provide this information to a department. Which of the following is the best way for the administrator to accomplish this task? Option A. Create a materialized view. Option B. Create indexes on those tables. Option C. Create a new database. Option D. Create a function. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Create a materialized view. Question 13. A database administrator is migrating the information in a legacy table to a newer table. Both tables contain the same columns, and some of the data may overlap. Which of the following SQL commands should the administrator use to ensure that records from the two tables are not duplicated? Option A. Union. Option B. Join. Option C. Intersect. Option D. Cross-join. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Union. Question 14. A company is launching a proof of concept cloud-based application. One of the requirements is to select a database engine that will allow administrators to perform quick and simple queries on unstructured data. Which of the following would be best suited for this task? Option A. MongoDB. Option B. MS SQL. Option C. Oracle. Option D. Graph database. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. MongoDB. Question 15. A database administrator needs to ensure database backups are occurring on a daily basis and at scheduled times. Which of the following actions should the administrator take? Option A. Query the database to observe entries. Option B. Check the database schema. Option C. Review the backup media. Option D. Review the server logs for entries. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. Review the server logs for entries. Question 16. Which of the following is a result of an on-path attack on a system? Option A. A Wi-Fi network that redirects to clones of legitimate websites. Option B. A website that has crashed and is no longer accessible. Option C. An email from an unknown source requesting bank account details. Option D. A web application that returns the addresses of its customers. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. A Wi-Fi network that redirects to clones of legitimate websites. Question 17. Which of the following is the best way to migrate a large data load from one table to another? Considering total time in blocking. Option A. Split the load size into many transactions. Option B. Split the load size in half and run simultaneously. Option C. Batch into small loads and run in parallel. Option D. Batch large loads into one transaction. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Split the load size into many transactions. Question 18. Following a security breach, a database administrator needs to ensure users cannot change data unless a request is approved by the management team. Which of the following principles addresses this issue? Option A. Open access. Option B. Least resistance. Option C. Elevated privilege. Option D. Least privilege. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. Least privilege. Question 19. A programmer wants to configure a database to only allow read or write access when requests are coming from specific IP addresses. Which of the following can be used to configure IP addresses to allow access to the database? Option A. Static IP address. Option B. Firewall. Option C. Dynamic IP address. Option D. DNS. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Firewall. Question 20. A company needs to prepare a document that establishes the responsibilities, metrics, penalties, and other generalities that a provider would have to fulfill for customers to use its platforms. Which of the following documents meets these requirements? Option A. DA. Option B. SLA. Option C. MA. Option D. SO. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. SLA. Question 21. A database is configured to use undo management with temporary undo enabled. An update is run on the table. Which of the following describes where the undo is stored? Option A. In the system global area. Option B. In the undo table space. Option C. In the SYSAUX table space. Option D. In the temporary table space. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. In the undo table space. Question 22. Which of the following concepts applies to situations that require court files to be scanned for permanent reference and original documents be stored for 10 years before they can be discarded? Option A. Data loss prevention. Option B. Data retention policies. Option C. Data classification. Option D. Global regulations. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Data retention policies. Question 23. Which of the following is a potential issue raised by enterprise database users? Option A. The need for multiple views or windows into the same database. Option B. The need to manage long transactions. Option C. The need for concurrent access and multi-user updates. Option D. The need to manually transfer records to paper. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C. The need for concurrent access and multi-user updates. Question 24. A database administrator is new to a company and wants to create a document that illustrates the interaction between tables. Which of the following should the administrator create? Option A. Troubleshooting guide. Option B. Entity relationship diagram. Option C. Data dictionary. Option D. Database reference manual. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B, entity relationship diagram. Question 25. Which of the following can be used to protect physical database appliances from damage in a server? Room. Choose 2. Option A. Biometric access systems. Option B. Database control systems. Option C. Fire suppression systems. Option D. Camera systems. Option E. Key card systems. Option F. Cooling systems. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C, fire suppression systems. Option F, cooling systems. Question 26. A database administrator needs to ensure continuous availability of a database in case the server fails. Which of the following should the administrator implement to ensure high availability of a database? Option A. ETL. Option B. Replication. Option C. Database dumping. Option D. Backup and restore. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B, replication. Question 27. A database's daily backup failed. Previous backups were completed successfully. Which of the following should the database administrator examine first to troubleshoot the issue? Option A. CPU usage. Option B. Disk space. Option C. Event log. Option D. OS performance. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C, event log. Question 28. A database administrator is updating an organization's EID. Which of the following is the best option for the database administrator to use? Option A. Word processor. Option B. Spreadsheet. Option C. UML tool. Option D. HTML editor. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C, UML tool. Question 29. A database administrator needs a tool to document and explain the relationships between data in an organization's database. Which of the following is the best tool to accomplish this task? Option A. Text editor. Option B. UML editor. Option C. Word processor. Option D. SQL query. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B, UML editor. Question 30. A database administrator has been asked to assign a user the ability to view a data set. Which of the following practices best describes this request? Option A. Access control. Option B. Security audit. Option C. Database audit. Option D. Password policy implementation. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, access control. Question 31. Which of the following firewall types allows an administrator to control traffic and make decisions based on factors such as connection information and data flow? Communications. Option A. Circuit level. Option B. Stateful. Option C. Proxy. Option D. Packet. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B, stateful. Question 32. A new retail store employee needs to be able to authenticate to a database. Which of the following commands should a database administrator use for this task? Option A. Insert user. Option B. Allow user. Option C. Create user. Option D. Alter user. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. Create user. Question 33. Which of the following would a database administrator monitor to gauge server health? Choose 2. Option A. CPU usage. Option B. Memory usage. Option C. Transaction logs. Option D. Network sniffer. Option E. Domain controllers. Option F. Firewall traffic. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. CPU usage. Option B. Memory usage. Question 34. A database administrator is concerned about transactions in case the system fails. Which of the following properties addresses this concern? Option A. Durability. Option B. Isolation. Option C. Atomicity. Option D. Consistency. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Durability. Question 35. Which of the following is a reason to create a stored procedure? Option A. To minimize storage space. Option B. To improve performance. Option C. To bypass case sensitivity requirements. Option D. To give control of the query logic to the user. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. To improve performance.